We pull no punches. Press the button, subscribe.
Fight fans, welcome. We have an intriguing heavyweight contest coming this Saturday night, live from Sheffield, live on DAZN, and I'm delighted to be welcoming back on my channel, Rob Boxing Shrew. Rob, I hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. You all right?
Yeah, very well, thanks. And I know you're well, but you are disgruntled as well. Disgruntled boxing fan is always very interesting to get on, so we will come to your topic of conversation towards the end of the show. Don't worry, you can rant. Don't worry about that, mate. No punches pulled on this channel.
Got nothing to say, have I? Yeah.
Well, let's get into the fight that we're all talking about. We'll get straight into it. Dave Allen, aka the White Rhino, versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. Rob, I'll be honest. 12 months ago, if you'd have told me Dave Allen would be getting these fights now and these opportunities, I'd have said you was raving bonkers. What a turnaround it has been for Dave Allen. It all started with Johnny Fisher 1. It's just an amazing turnaround, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I feel like we've been here before as well. Like, you know, there was a situation where Dave Allen always seems to find himself 2 fights away from a big fight. Like when he went on that run and he beat Lucas Brown, knocked him out at the O2. I'm sure it was at the O2. And we were kind of, I think someone said like he's 2 fights away from like Wilder or something at the time. And like for some reason he just keeps getting these opportunities. He keeps, you know, finding these clutch wins. And yeah, fair play to him. I mean, we'll get into sort of like, you know, what we think on Dave Allen generally, but if you take the fighter out of it, like, just seems like a fucking great lad as well. Like, just to see, I like seeing good people get opportunities, and he certainly seems like one of them in a world of, you know, boxing where there's some murky characters right now. So yeah, all for it.
Yeah, he's sort of like that working class background that people can associate with in boxing. The late Ricky Hatton was the same. Everyone loved him for the way he is. Yeah, Dave Allen comes from that background where people can relate, and he's just a great character. But as regards his boxing, he has a career of 33 fights, 24 wins, 19 via KO, 7 losses, 2 draws. He hasn't always been on song at the higher level. He's come unstuck several times when he's been given them opportunities. Now he's faced with Makhmudov, a 6'6" monster of a man, beast of a man, Russian. I've labelled this David versus Goliath battle. I think that's what it is. The size of Makhmudov and what he possesses. Scary looking, horrible man. But he has lost to Ajit Kaboyel. He got wiped out in that fight, and he took a bit of a pasting as well to Guido Vianello. Would you say Makhmudov is at the higher level where sort of Dave Allen has come unstuck before?
Probably not quite, I'd say. I mean, it's funny because the top opponents that Dave Allen's had, you know, like Luis Ortiz at the time, Dillian White, you know, they were like fringe world level guys, weren't they? But then he's lost to, you know, David Price, who was pretty much done. Fraser Clark, who, you know, I mean, he was unlucky in that one because I thought Fraser Clark should have got disqualified with the low blows. So he got a bit of a home decision there. But again, beat him into the ground a little bit after that. And yeah, this is what goes back to Allen getting these opportunities. I think sometimes it's his platform that does present them, along with some of his wins. But yeah, like if it wasn't Dave Allen, it was just fighter A, you'd probably be looking at this very differently to Dave Allen going in with him. I don't know if that makes any sort of sense whatsoever.
No, I get what you mean, and he's literally that. I mean, we talk about fighters with that have had lots of losses. Like for example, Derek Chisora keeps getting these opportunities, and he's had the run he's had. Dave Allen, obviously, that Johnny Fisher 1 fight had it. Then he turned it around and got the clear cut victory in the second. Yeah. But he should be grateful for these opportunities he's had. Like I say, he hasn't always put his full heart into training camps, his conditioning. Albeit he looks it now, so it'd be very, very interesting to see. But when you look at his opponent here, MAKHMUDOV, fight record of 22 fights, 20 wins, 19 KOs in them wins, 2 losses.
Yeah.
As I said before, stopped in both those losses. I do see vulnerability with MAKHMUDOV. When lots were backing him to beat Ajit Kabayel, I didn't actually think he would. I tipped Kabayel to win that fight.
Yeah,
I think MAKHMUDOV, he's got the height, he's got the build, he's got the power, the strength, he's got the reach, but I think his defense is absolutely shocking and has been exposed on the 2 losses he's had. No head movement at all. I thought when he stepped up to the sort of better level, when he beat Carlos Takam on points, I thought that was the sign of Takam was sort of on the way out and he couldn't dispatch him and he was sort of left a little bit wanting. I thought that was the first early signs where MAKHMUDOV could be exposed. And he does crumble, there's no doubt about that. He's vulnerable to the body. Kabayel exploited that. Beautiful body puncher Kabayel is. But do you agree with what I'm saying about the vulnerability about MAKHMUDOV?
Absolutely. Doesn't that make it such a fun fight though? Like
Absolutely.
that vulnerability. I mean, like you said earlier, 12 months ago, you probably wouldn't have given Dave Allen a chance in this fight. Because at that point he would have only had the loss to Kabayel on his record. And it's still a big lump, isn't he? For me, it's more about the engine because we know Dave Allen can go 12 rounds. I mean, I know it was 10 rounder with Fisher, wasn't it, first fight? But
yeah.
We know he's got the engine to go, and he looks really, really fit as well. I mean, I know pictures can be deceiving, but I've seen a few pictures online of him in a sweatsuit, and it looks fucking brilliant, to be honest. Obviously, can that translate in the ring? I think it'll all come down to stamina. At the end of the day, I think it'll go later than some people think, and that is where I think it plays into Dave Allen's hands because add the vulnerability that you've mentioned there to the fact that I don't trust MAKHMUDOV's engine. Like, I think you could probably guess where my prediction's swaying based on that, but yeah, I don't trust him as far as I could throw him, which isn't far. He's a lump, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's absolutely huge. I mean, he's a scary looking man, and like I just think
monobrow. Oh my
God. They're
they're
just up all the time, aren't they? I mean, but when I just think this is a David versus Goliath fight because of the stature of MAKHMUDOV. Obviously, Dave Allen's still 6'3", I think he is himself. MAKHMUDOV just shy of 6'6", but he just looks a horrible looking man. But Dave Allen, as we said, he's riding the crest of a wave at the moment, knocking out Johnny Fisher the way he did. But the question for me is, are we getting a little bit ahead of ourselves with the hype that comes with that? Like Johnny Fisher, was he overhyped and not obviously what lots thought he was? Did it sort of flatter Dave Allen? Great victory, I'm taking nothing away from Dave Allen, but did that victory flatter him a little bit? Whereas Johnny Fisher, isn't even he's not British level at the moment. Did that flatter Dave Allen?
I think so. The way he won the second fight, though, swatted that away. Because I thought he won the first fight, to be honest. But yeah, the second fight, hindsight's a wonderful thing. And I remember doing a prediction. I can't remember if it was you or with Steve, and you said to me, "What do you think?" And I gave Dave Allen 2 rounds or 3 rounds, and I was convinced that Dave Allen was going to get blown away just because of the run he'd been on and obviously the momentum of Johnny Fisher. But in hindsight, now it looks like Dave Allen just beat a ticket seller. Because if you sell tickets, you go up the bill, don't you? And Matchroom were putting a lot into him. And his dad, his dad's at forefront of everything at the minute, and they kind of got caught out a little bit, didn't they? So yeah, but yeah, going back to your question, I think there is. Is he overrated? Is probably the way that we would look at it. Maybe Dave Allen, maybe, but I don't know. I wouldn't call him overrated if he goes and does a job on Saturday night because suddenly it's going to end up with a big fight, which they've been teasing on and off for pushing 8, 9 years, haven't they?
Definitely, and as you said, he keeps getting these opportunities. This is last chance saloon for him to get that big fight that he's been talking about. But this is still a cracker of a fight, as you mentioned earlier. Dave Allen is looking in tremendous shape from images we've seen. You are correct as well. Images can be deceiving. He
Andy
doesn't all
Ruiz.
exactly that. Yeah, he's the perfect example. I mean, Dave Allen, we've seen images before. He doesn't always turn up in fights like the images suggest. I mean, Eddie Ernie's talking about Deontay Wilder. He could be next if Dave Allen pulls this off. Absolute crazy to think, really. So, how do you see the fight going, and who would be your prediction to win?
My prediction will be Dave Allen. I just think, I mean, you nailed it. The vulnerabilities of MAKHMUDOV, add the momentum of Dave, the body shots. I think he's chopping down a massive tree that takes a bit of time, doesn't it? And I think it will go late. I've seen a few predictions on YouTube and Instagram. Obviously not on Twitter. But yeah, a few saying it might go quite early, which surprised me really. I mean, you might tell me otherwise, but I think it might go later. I think within the last couple of rounds, I think Dave might get to him. Don't know. Maybe it might be an accumulation that results in him getting pulled out or on his chair in the corner. But yeah, I think Dave might stop him late on. I can't believe I'm saying it, but yeah, I really do.
Do you think he'll stop him with a body shot as well?
I don't think it'd be one single body shot. I just think it'd be an accumulation. It's a big area to hit, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and as I said, he's defensively, he's very, in all honesty, shit. He's defensively he's woeful. Well, I think when you look at both these men not knowing boxing, you would say there'd only be one winner. If you looked at the both of them, like he just looks like MAKHMUDOV would tear Dave Allen apart. I do think it is a 50-50 fight, and I think it will go like one of two ways. But I think MAKHMUDOV will start how he usually starts, come out fast, and I think he'll look to take Dave Allen apart early and try and upset him. And I think if he can, and I think if he can get to Dave Allen early, I think he could have it over by halfway. I do think MAKHMUDOV could have it. I don't sort of see Dave Allen being knocked out. I sort of see the ref could step in and stop the fight where Dave Allen's taking enough. But Dave Allen can take a shot, so I can't see him getting stopped badly or anything like that. I think it'd just be where the ref or the corner pulls him out. But I think the other option could be that if MAKHMUDOV doesn't get Dave Allen out of there within 6 rounds, I think you're right about the engine. I think he could start gassing out quite badly, as we've seen before, especially if he's been hit to the body. And I also think that Dave Allen could stop him late. But I do think if Dave Allen is going to win, I would say Dave Allen would win on points, just for the fact his stamina is better than MAKHMUDOV, and I just think he'll have too much going into the later rounds. But if someone was going to...
You've given 3 predictions there, Dad.
Well, I was just going to say, if someone's asking me to pick how I think the fight will end, if I was going to edge my bets, I would probably say MAKHMUDOV within 6. So there's a difference of opinions there. I mean, the case for
MAKHMUDOV... If it goes past 6, is Dave Allen all day, yeah?
I think it'd be Dave Allen, probably on points. I mean, obviously you've heard what I've said. Can you make a case for MAKHMUDOV, what I'm saying?
Yeah, but only in the way that you said. Like, I can't see MAKHMUDOV winning on points. I mean, I'd be very, very surprised, or there'd be a real issue in Dave's corner for that to happen. But I just feel like the game management will be really good from his team. You know, he's got obviously Jamie Moore, Nigel Travis in his corner, who you know, been there, seen it, done it. They're pretty much on every show with one of their fighters at the moment, aren't they? And you know, what I will say though is they also look after their fighters. So if what you explained there, first 6 rounds with MAKHMUDOV does happen, I don't think I'd have any issue pulling him out. No problem.
I do think as well, when MAKHMUDOV gets tired, if it goes beyond 6 rounds, I think with Dave Allen hitting the body and MAKHMUDOV being tired, I do think he'll get sloppy, very sloppy defensively, and I think he'll be even worse open. Yeah. So there is a case of that. But I look at Dave Allen as well. It wasn't too long ago where he was very, very poor against Fraser Clark.
I was there that
Um,
night. That was on the Boatsi undercard when they all walked out, wasn't it?
is that what I can't remember? I'll take
Yeah,
your
it was in
word for that.
Birmingham. Yeah, yeah.
Is that what it was? I mean, I looked at that. I looked at that very, very poor. And then I looked at like when he fought David Price. Now David Price was a very, very vulnerable heavyweight
Yeah.
who was, very like vulnerable on the whiskers, glass chinned, and Dave Allen could not put a dent in David Price at all.
No.
And I look at fighters like David Price, and I see the vulnerabilities with him, and I see the vulnerabilities with MAKHMUDOV, and I think if MAKHMUDOV can stick to what he knows and try and put it on Dave Allen early, I think that's got to be the tactic to try and stop him early, because I think he knows his own gas tank. But I just think Dave Allen, we're all getting a little bit too hyped. I like Dave Allen. I want him to win the
Me
fight.
too.
I
Me
do.
too. Yeah.
I really, really want him to win this fight, but I think we're all getting a little bit carried away with the Johnny Fisher victory. I like him. I think he's got good boxing credentials, and he is solid. But I just think when he steps up to that next level, he is found a little bit wanting. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope the Dave Allen story carries on. I hope I'm wrong, but I just think MAKHMUDOV's going to have a little bit too much for him in this fight. Fair prediction, do you reckon?
How often do we disagree on it? It's all the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I quite like it. I quite like it.
Brilliant. Well, let's see how the fight goes. Very, very intriguing contest. I think while it lasts, it'll be brilliant to watch. I think it could be end-to-end action. So tune into the Zone on Saturday night, and don't forget we've got an undercard as well. We're going to pick up on a couple of them fights now. The one I want to pick up on is Junaid Boston versus Bilal Fawaz 2, the rematch. The first was a little cracker of a fight, really, ended in a draw.
Yeah.
This is a much needed rematch. Do you expect Junaid Boston to put this right?
Absolutely. I feel it's one of them where I thought Fawaz was at probably as good as we might see him at that level, and Boston. I feel like he took him for granted. I felt like he walked in there thinking, who's after Fawaz? Like,
Yeah, I agree with that.
I do think so. It was close, but like the big thing for me, because I thought Fawaz nicked it. But I also had no issue with the draw, so I don't think it was a robbery. But it's close when Eddie Hearn says, "Oh, I had it by 1 round to my fighter." Like, whenever he says that, he never says that they've lost. He always says, "Oh, I had it 96, 94, or whatever, 115, 113 on a 12 rounder." He's it's almost the unwritten code, isn't it, when you think your fighter's lost? But
Right.
good fight, really good fight. I expect it again. I think it might be better because they've had words a lot.
Bit of needle in it, and it's always good when there's a bit more needle.
With a bit of respect as well, like
Yeah.
that round table thing they did for Matchroom was, I thought, I really liked that, where they sit down and just have a calm chat about things. That was pretty cool. But yeah, in answer to your question, yeah, I do think he'll put it right. I think he'll be way better, way better.
What do you reckon? Unanimous decision?
Yeah, I think so. I don't. Fawaz is tough, and I don't think Boston will take him out of there. He might ride a few storms, but yeah, I think. I think you'll look at the scorecards and think, yeah, that's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you on that, mate. I think I do think Junaid Boston overlooked him last time for sure. I think he'll be much better this time. And let's put it this way: if he isn't, he's not going to go forward with a career he thinks he's going to have.
Oh, it's a disaster! It's a disaster if he loses.
Yeah, absolutely. And I expect him to. I think Fawaz will give him another good fight, but I expect Junaid Boston to totally outpoint him in this one, and just be comfortable on the cards. I don't think he'll stop Fawaz. I think Boston will win comfortably on the cards. So yeah, another good fight to look forward to on Saturday night. The next one I'd like to pick up on is Josh Padley versus Reece Bellotti. I like this fight as well. Bellotti back quick time from a grueling fight with Ryan Garner the back end of July. He was stopped in the last round, losing his British and Commonwealth titles. Padley's coming down in weight from lightweight to super feather. Is this the perfect matchmaking from Matchroom for Josh Padley, or is it a potential banana skin? How do you see this one going, Rob?
A bit of both. You'd be fucking foolish to overlook Bellotti, and I don't think Josh Padley would do that. Given Josh's background, You know, he's had his opportunity put him. He's leaving no stone unturned. Looks fantastic in the gym from the footage I've seen as well. I was actually quite surprised at how quickly this fight got made after Bellotti lost his last fight. It was like
Yeah, man.
3 or 4 days later, wasn't it? I
Yeah, yeah.
mean, you got to admire the absolute bollocks on Bellotti as well to think, yeah, I've just lost my titles, but yeah, Josh Padley, no problem, let's do it. So, really like it. Yeah, another one that I think will go the distance. I think both will have their moments. Josh hasn't really. I know he went in with Shakur Stevenson, but fucking hell, it's Shakur Stevenson. But at this sort of level, it'd be interesting to see the chin check with Josh. You know, he seems fit. He's got the engine, and you know he can bang. But Veloci, I mean, he's called the bomber. Do you know what I mean? So he's going to bring it. My question mark will be over how fresh he actually is after that grueler last time around. I mean, I know it was July and we're now just to come into October, but it's a pretty quick turnaround for such a, you know, mentally draining experience.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's the main doubt for me with Reece Bellotti in this fight. I think, like you say, he'll bring it. He always does. I think Josh Padley will have his hands full. And I think Josh Padley, apart from the Shakur Stevenson fight, like you said, okay, he had the Mark Chamberlain win, but I'm not sure he's quite been in the ring with someone like Reece Bellotti of how he fights. So I think we will. Yeah, I do think we'll find a lot out about Josh Padley here, about where he sort of is at the moment and where he can go. I think it's a really tough fight, and if Bellotti didn't have that grueling fight in July, yeah, I may be thinking a little bit different here, but I think Padley's going to get over the line, but I think it could come down to something like a split decision. I do. Do you think it'd be tight?
Yeah, I think it'll be close. I do. Yeah, I think a couple of rounds. I think it'll get to the end where we're not quite sure.
I do as well. Yeah.
But hey, who knows if it's close? Do it again. I mean, on paper, it looks like a very fan-friendly fight, as does the Boston one.
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
You know, who's going to steal the show with them three that we've discussed there? Really, it's it's a tough one to ask. But prediction, I would go with Padley just because of the momentum. Timing's everything, and I think, you know, Bellotti is a good name on the record, obviously with what he's achieved time and time again. Let's be honest, he's lost and come back, hasn't he, Bellotti? So you got to admire that. But yeah, I think he's bitten off a bit more, a bit more than he can chew, given what he did, you know, a few months ago and how that ended against Ryan Garner for me. So I would go with Padley.
The thing is as well, yeah. The thing is with the Garner fight for Bellotti, as we say, it wasn't sort of like an easy sort of fight. It was a grueler, wasn't it? It was a real tough fight for him. So the turnaround is quick, but if anyone can do it, Reece Bellotti can. He's a comeback man. There's no doubt about that. As you say, really interesting fight again. So them 3 fights on this card, it's a cracker, really, isn't it? Saturday, the card.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know, in a time where we've been criticising British cards because a lot of what you would call headliners or co-mains are going out first on a Riyadh show. You know, opening the show, like, you know, like Blatty Smith, that sort of thing. And it's nice to see a good British card where it's not just one fight and then scraps to fill the undercard. It's pretty decent. I mean, and I like the footage that it's had as well. Like, there has been a lot put behind this one. It hasn't just come out of nowhere like some shows. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, mate. And kind of a bit jealous that I'm not going, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we're going to come on to your subject after this, but it's a cracking card Saturday live on DAZN. Make sure you all tune in. So the final subject we're coming on to now, all of you that know Rob from platform X, formerly Twitter, you actually had your Twitter account hacked. You was allowed back on the platform, and within how many days, Rob, you had your account suspended, didn't you? 2 days you was back. Well, I'll let you say. You posted a public article, didn't you? I'll let you have your say now. Oh, he's doing this to me. He's muting himself. Well, I was going to say I'll tell people, but I'll let you say it now.
You go ahead.
Well, basically, from what I saw, Yeah, from what I saw, you posted a public article, which was an article about Turkey Al Sheikh and some of his past, with certain stories of what have been publicised. You quoted that tweet saying you're surprised it didn't make mainstream media,
That's it. Yeah.
and then you're suspended for a violation of rules. And when you click on your account now, it still says that. So, am I wrong in
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I've been sent a lot of stuff since my account got took down, and a lot of screenshots of people saying that it's related to the hack. And do you know what? I thought that. I thought that. I thought it was a big coincidence because, not to sort of chuck anyone under the bus, but a lot of people have shared that article since February when it got posted, including the author, who kindly actually messaged me on Instagram,
Oh, okay.
just to reach out because I think he felt a bit guilty. But so mate, it's not nothing. It's probably not even to do with that, right? So, yeah, got hacked last Sunday. It sounds like a really shit Craig David song. So I got hacked on Sunday. On Monday, I was put back on, and then Tuesday, yeah, I posted that. And again, I think it was a narrative that was created on Twitter by people sharing posts and stuff that, oh, Rob's shared an article about Turkey Al Sheikh, and now poof, he's gone. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't really see it like that to start with, but today, the Sport the Song, for anyone who doesn't know, that's the podcast that I'm involved with. That Twitter account also got locked down. Now, I don't post on that account. That's Alex. Some people think I run that account, but I've never logged into that account once, and that got locked. So that made me start thinking. And obviously, I spoke with you about it, and you thought, is that a coincidence? I don't know. But mate, I've been going to the Saudi shows for ages. But I also think in the back of my mind, I'm just a small Twitter page. Do you know what I mean? Like, what does Turkey Al Sheikh give a fuck about me? So I don't. We don't know. I mean, I haven't been given a reason. I should have my account back soon. I'm under. Well, it's under sort of investigation, I suppose.
But
But
what's the latest on that though? You've literally heard nothing. You're in a queue or something, are you?
yeah, well, it doesn't let you send too many appeals because you put your account in, and then when you go to post the appeal, it says, oh, this at tag is already in consideration basically for the appeal. So I don't know. What do you think? Because it's easy for me to sit here and say it's because of this and because of that, but apparently it's doing some numbers on Twitter, and people have
Lots
been
of
supportive.
Well, lots of people are asking, what's he done? Well, I can only say it as I see it. Literally, I don't see why people are saying, oh, is it related to the hack? When you see that today as well, it clearly isn't. I mean, all I can see is that you shared an article, your account was suspended for violation of rules. That suggests to me that my opinion, that you put an article on that someone's reported or it wasn't liked. It's
I
not.
didn't write it though. That's the thing. I didn't write
That's the
it.
thing I was
Yeah,
coming to. It was a shared article, and the person who wrote the article, I
it's still
believe
on
it's
Twitter.
still on his page.
Still on Twitter.
But
The
it does
original
make.
page. Yeah, go on. Go on. Sorry.
It does make me. Sorry, it does make me wonder. I think you've got like 10,000 followers on X or whatever it is, and then I looked at his account. Not slating him at all, but I think he's got 450. It does
Yeah.
make me wonder: is it because the eyes would have been on yours more, and they don't want it to be seen? That's my opinion. I'm allowed to say my opinion. It's my YouTube channel. That's all I can think of about it. But it's a real strange one, and the fact of you've got no idea when you'll be back or anything, I just think it's baffling. And
Yeah. At the end of the day,
um,
it's a British person tweeting from a British account in Britain, and if it came down to that's why, and again, it's the Sport the Song thing today getting locked down that made me question it. Fuck Turkey Al Sheikh. Do you know what I mean? Like that guy, I've been saying for a couple of years now that there's no vision. There's no vision with Turkey Al Sheikh. If you gave Eddie Hearn the bottomless pit of money from Saudi Arabia, he would make all the fights Turkey's making. Everyone's holding hands with him. No one will say anything critical of him. I don't care. I genuinely don't care.
mm,
Obviously, I'm not associated to any sort of big news outlet. I'm literally, I've just got a Twitter page. It's not real. Do you know what I mean?
mm.
It's really really infuriating. And I don't know. I mean, you look at the control of press he's got at the minute. You've got people. I was going to name a few names, and I probably shouldn't, but there's a few people out there at the minute who will literally hold hands with him for the access. They all ask the same 5 or 10 questions that are pre-agreed. No one asks about drug bans. No one asks about human rights. No one asks about this shit that comes out in articles about Turkey Al Sheikh. Nothing. One reason, because they all want to be friends. They all want to have a selfie with him, and they all want to thank him for the opportunity. And it fucking sucks. And I swear to God, I stand by this. One day, they will all pretend that they were never close to him, like the Daniel Kinahan stuff, because it will all fall apart. What they've done here, just read the article. Like, if you can get access to that article, I implore you to read it, and then come back and say to me, "Oh, Rob's overreacting," because it's disgusting stuff. And
You'll have to
Turkey,
share it. You'll have. Sorry, Rob.
Turkey. No, go on, go on.
I was going to say you'll have to share that article when you get back on it.
Yeah, I will. I will. Oh, trust me. There's plenty of people. I've been sent a lot of There's been a lot of people who've been behind me and said free speech and all this, and thank you so much for doing that. You didn't have to, but it's nice that there's some decent people out there who can see things for what they are. But I've also seen a lot of screenshots of people who've said stuff that maybe they wouldn't have said if I still had my account. So I've got the receipts, and I'll be coming after you fuckers as well. So
Brilliant.
it's fucking true.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not having people talk about me behind my back when they know my account's suspended. So yeah, don't worry, I'm on my way.
Brilliant. No, you know what though, like the free speech thing, Elon Musk was all about free speech. You didn't create the article. You didn't say the word. You shared an article and believe that should be sort of like broadcasting mainstream media, even to
is
sort of.
Right? Is that not right?
Well, the thing is, right? You'd think in a normal world that if them things are being put out, that from Turkey Al Sheikh or whoever should be defending that, saying, "Well, that's not true because of this." That's
if the
what
BBC,
I see about it.
If the BBC or Sky put that article out, he's finished. He would be fucking finished. But they also know the trouble that comes with that, and the access and the money, and it's what the world go. It makes the world go around, doesn't it?
Yep, I can't sit here and disagree with you. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. I get why you're angry. I get where you're coming from. But I think the big main thing as regards your suspension from Twitter should be, and I totally agree where you're coming from, why are you suspended for sharing an article that is public? It's not your own article. You didn't write it. You've just shared and said you're surprised this is in the mainstream media. You have in the past put your opinions on Twitter, like we all do, about Conor Ben, whatever. Nothing was done about that. But nothing was done about that. What's the difference? And some people watch this say, "Oh, it's coincidence, whatever." I find it a real struggle to see it's coincidental.
I thought it was. I did think it was a coincidence. And when, again, people have shown me what's been said on Twitter about, oh, he's posted this article and now he's off. I wasn't quite fully behind that. But then today, the fact that the podcast I'm affiliated to, an account that I don't have access to, also got locked down with today, what are you supposed to think?
Especially when Alex on that podcast is sort of, promoting you get your account back and saying about what the shambles has become with
free speech,
the free speech and that, and then that account happens that I don't know how it can be that it's nothing else related to what you have shared there, but hopefully we get you back on there soon, Rob, and I can tell you're disgruntled. I've been speaking to you in the build up to this. I totally get where you're coming from. Do you want last word on you? Do you want to say anything else?
No. What I would actually like to say is a bit different about Ricky Hatton, because I haven't been on anything like this since he tragically passed away. Just how fucking horrible was that news to wake up to the other week?
Tragic.
Horrible. Ricky Hatton was definitely one of the guys that got me into boxing. Him, Calzaghe, that sort of era, absolutely loved it. Never got the opportunity to go out to Vegas. I was too young, but I did go to the Lascano fight at Man City's ground, and when he had a bit of a homecoming after his loss, and it was amazing. And just a man of the people. But you just won't see a fighter live that life again, will you? And get that following. But I just wanted to throw that in there because what a guy, what a fighter, and just brilliant. sort of ambassador for British boxing.
Totally, I couldn't have said that better. He really was, and as you know, I had Mark Tibbs on, and speaking to someone who like knew him the way he did as
Yeah.
well. And you don't see a bad word said about him, do you? Which is fantastic and a
Yeah,
testament to
if
himself.
anyone's watching this as well, please, get on that interview. That was brilliant, mate.
Thanks, Rob, and yeah, brilliant words about Ricky Hatton. Spot on. Rest in peace, and once again, condolences to all his family and friends, and obviously his funeral is coming up like real soon, the end of this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, rest in peace, Ricky Hatton. And it's been brilliant to get your insight on my channel again, Rob. I'm glad you've vented what you wanted to get out there.
I said to you, it's going to feel like therapy, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm glad you've got it out there. So. Rob Boxing Show, I'm sure everyone that watches this will be pleased to see you back on podcast again. So thanks for your time,
mate.
Rob.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me as always.
Cheers. Definitely get you back on in the future, and let's get that X account back.
Cheers.
All right, cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye.